What's going on, everybody? It is 4:11 in Brunswick, Maine, and it is actually sunny for a change, which is kind of nice. We've had some pretty nasty weather the past couple of days, but it looks like spring is kind of maybe here. So fingers crossed on that one. I wanted to create a quick video to do a little follow-up on our lift install. The lift install went relatively smoothly. The ride is also relatively smooth. I did the 887 coils in the front from Old Man Emu, which is a longer coil, but it's very similar to the factory spring rate. I think it's 590 foot-pounds or 590 pounds or something like that. I got the icons in the back. We had to relocate the U-bolts on the bottom of the overload because we kept the overload in against Icon's recommendation to maintain height. I haven't noticed anything wrong with the kit. The only gripe that I do have is I get some driveline vibrations. On start off, I get a little bit of a shudder, and around 25 miles an hour, if I stay at that speed, I'll get a little bit of a shudder. So went ahead and ordered from Wheeler's Off-Road some 3-degree shims because we want to kind of try to change the angle of the rear diff, where the U-joints and the yoke and everything comes together there. See if that makes a difference. We're going to do that this Saturday. I've been doing a lot of reading on Tacoma World and everything like that, and they've been saying, yep, that takes care of the problem. It has everything to do with your driveline angle. Some guys flip the carrier bearing upside down. We're going to try a multitude of things, but we're going to start with the shims, see if that doesn't fix it. If it doesn't fix it, we're going to take the carrier bearing drop kit out, try to see if we get any type of an improvement with the carrier bearing out, and just try a bunch of different combinations. Having a little bit of driveline shudder. I've gotten used to it over the past week of driving, but it's still kind of annoying. So on to other news. Operation Rack Recon is in full effect. Operation Rack Recon, baby. I scored a KB VooDoo long bed rack on Tacoma World. Great price, great guy. It's got a little rust on it though. I found out what I'm going to do. I am going to blast this rack with the guy that blasted my wheels. And I'm going to Line-X the thing. I'm going to take it all down to nothing. I'm going to get new hardware and I'm going to Line-X it. I think it's going to increase the durability of it. It's going to make it look badass. It's not going to rust because it's going to create that protection, that barrier from all the elements outside. No oxidation on the inside, and we're going to see how it works. The only downside with the whole Line-X thing is if it gets bad, if it starts to rust in certain areas, touching it up is going to be a pain in the... We're just going to have to figure it out, but I'm hoping I don't have to go down that road if I'm going to have the thing Line-X. So, yeah, stay tuned for Operation Rack Recon. Going down to New Hampshire to pick it up on Sunday. He's got the tonneau cover brackets. That's the whole reason I'm going KB VooDoo, is because I want to have my tonneau cover on. And if you say tonneau, there's something wrong with you. It's tonneau, all right? It's tonneau. I've been reading some forums, though, that said you can install a KB VooDoo long bed rack on a short bed, but it's going to bolt where the... I'll show you guys where it's going to bolt because I'm actually on the way to Tractor Supply. All right, so it bolts right here. You can see what I'm talking about when I said it might have some issues because the thing comes out here, goes up and over, but that's how this thing, like, this whole thing pops up and folds out. So I don't know. We'll see. Oh, for you guys that are like, oh yeah, I love offset, I don't need fender flares. Yeah, you need fender flares, guys. I washed and waxed this truck yesterday, not yesterday, but like 3 days ago, and it's trashed. We are on our way to the beach. It's a dark and gloomy day, but I wanted to get out and do a rack review for you guys and kind of show you what the truck's looking like. So it's a nice day out. I like days like this where it's a little cloudy and it's nice and cool. I think it's like 50, 55. Lots of wildlife out. Hazy. Makes the black truck look good. So just taking Trooper out for a little walk. So this is it. This is the KB VooDoo bed rack, and it's for a long bed. So it bolts into a different position than the short bed one would. So as you can see here, this is where it bolts into. KB VooDoo short bed rack would bolt into the accessory rail here. But I kind of like that it's for the long bed because you take advantage of that extra, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches of space that you otherwise wouldn't have with a short bed rack. So you can put more gear on it. It's called the Max something or other. I just currently have my scanner antenna mounted through one of the holes there. And I'll be putting Max tracks probably on this side, roto packs on the other with fuel. And I'm gonna figure out a way to mount things on the inside as well, on the inside of the frame. So I can put water in a high lift and put the tent on top. Currently leaning towards a Free Spirit tent. Comes with some extra crossbars. The guy who had it before, the person that I purchased it from, added a few more crossbars for some added weight distribution. Really looking forward to putting this rack through its paces and taking it on some trips with us. It's going to add a lot of versatility to the back of the truck. I already replaced all the bolts with galvanized bolts so that they won't further rust. And there's a couple of spots on here that are rusting, like you can kind of see, yeah, right here, kind of there. That's probably being a little picky. So the bases on all 4 corners are rusted, which that's to be expected. You know, it's been to over 48 states. It's seen the salt flats. So, I mean, alone, given that it's seen the salt flats, it's in pretty great shape. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I think it looks good. I think the whole truck's coming along real nicely. I need to modify these tonneau brackets in order for it to work with my tonneau cover. I have the Truck Sport thing. So it's got a weird flippy at the end that doesn't clear it because it is a long bed rack. It doesn't clear it. So I got to make some taller brackets so it will clear. Because driving down dusty dirt roads in Maine, you want a tonneau cover. Otherwise, all your stuff gets covered in dust and it's gross, and you know, nobody wants that. What do you think, Trope? Huh? He's a good boy. So as I was in the process of editing this video, I realized that I didn't tell you guys how the shims or the carrier bearing drop kit worked out in the long run. It didn't work out at all. What I ended up doing was just getting some washers, some small washers. Let's see if I have any so I can show you. I got 2 of these on each side, and it actually worked better than the Old Man Emu drop kit. So if you're experiencing some driveline vibrations, I recommend going that route. I still get a little bit of a shudder on takeoff, but it's nothing I can't really deal with. And if anything goes, I'm just gonna go to a 1-piece drive shaft. I've read reviews, and it just seems like the easiest route instead of having to deal with all the carrier bearing and all that stuff. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you haven't already, subscribe and push that bell so you get notified the next time I upload a video. Don't forget to follow our Instagram at PS Overland, and thanks for watching.